This is Bible Stories in 5 minutes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 5-Minute Bible Stories as we are working our way 25 days of Christ as we focus on a Christ-centered Christmas, and we take a minute each day to tell about Jesus and to focus our holiday around the reason for the season rather than the worldly things. Tonight we'll be reading out of Matthew 21 verses 1 through 13. It says, "As they approached Jerusalem and came to Bethphage on the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent his disciples, saying to them, 'Go to the village ahead of you, and at once you will find a donkey tied there with her colt by her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, say the Lord needs them, and he will send them right away.' This took place to fulfill what is spoken through the prophets. 'Son, say to daughter Zion, see, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey, and on a colt, the foal of a donkey.' The disciples went and did as Jesus instructed. They brought the donkey and the colt and placed their cloaks on them for Jesus to sit on. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the ground, while others cut branches from trees and spread them on the road. The crowds then went ahead of him, and those that followed shouted, 'Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest heaven.'" I think I read ahead. Nope, I'm still going. Okay. "When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, 'Who is this?' The crowds answered, 'This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee.' Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. 'It is written,' he said to them, 'My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making a den of robbers.'" In summary, it says Jesus is welcomed with celebration and great honors as he enters the city Jerusalem. He visits the temple and drives out those who degrade the sacredness and reverence of the temple. One thing to know is when kings, conquering kings, come in, they come in on horses and steeds, and they come in, rearing and deal. But Jesus was a humble leader. He came in riding gentle and on a donkey. Some questions we want to focus on, some things we want to think about in the next day. It says, number one, it says, how do people receive Jesus entering the city? Number two, what would it have been like to be there? Imagine yourself seeing Jesus riding in. Number three, what did Jesus think of the temple? What did he think of the things he saw? Now, what was his reaction? And number four, how can we make the temple, church, and a house of prayer? Think about the things that we can do to make our churches, to make our homes, to make everything more glorious to God. Focusing our life back on Christ, focusing our life back on the glory of the kingdom of God. Think about how we can do that overnight. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Lord bless you and keep you. Lord make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. God bless you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.